Can we get the access of Desperado in Bloons DD6? And we're gonna try it on the new map released with the Desperados, which is called Sunset Gulch. So if you guys don't know what this thing is about, basically the condition is that you have to get all 3 tier 5 towers of a single tower in one single game of Chimps mode. And based on the tower which you're trying to do this with, this can range from super easy to like straight up impossible because of some prices. Now I did the maths on these Desperados and their prices go something like this. The entirety of the top pad costs about 27k, the middle pad costs about 58,000, that's the most expensive one, and then the bottom pad is about $47,000, which in total actually comes out to be $133,000, and the total amount of money that you get in Chimps is about 179. So really not that much room to play around with this thing. Honestly, you just have to be very careful with all your upgrades. You might say like we're 45k and we can absolutely, you know, there's a lot of room, but it's actually not like that. I mean, you want to buy an overclock, which is 15k, you want to buy a couple of support towers, maybe a Sabo, maybe a Spike Storm, and this thing, you know, just goes out of hand really quickly. So here's what I'm going to try and do. I want to get a discount village, actually. I want to have the village like this. The placement of this village is going to be kind of important because this guy here is going to be the Desert Phantom, so he doesn't want any towers in his radius. And then up top I want to have the Golden Justice, which is going to be attacking down the straight line. So let's see how... oh, actually, wait a minute, we're leaking in 14. Alright, let's delay the greed a little bit then. Let me buy something like a Spike Factory down here away from the range of the Desperado. Yeah, I mean, Sala has really not been the same hero as she was. She is leaking rivers of Bloons, so we have to do something about this. Now we're going to have around 27 with $2,500, and we do need lead popping power. So how do we want to do this? So we're either going to have to use the level 3 ability on this round, but if we use it, we're not going to have any lead popping power for the next one. So let me actually get an Alchemist, have this guy on strong, and then let's just see when we need to use the level 3 ability, and then the Alchemist is just going to take care of the leads on the next one. Actually, wait a minute, now that I'm looking at this, we are defending. The Alchemist is giving just a little bit of AoE, and we seem to have dealt with 27. So we can just do this actually on 28, which is going to pop all the leads. Oh, that was very good. Alright, so let's continue with our discounts then. So let me go like this. This guy he's not in range. Alright. Believe it or not, I don't mind this because once we get, you know, the shotgun and all these like top path operations in the village, like the primary training and primary mentoring, he's going to get a lot of extra range. And let's actually pay attention to round 30. So the swords are on cooldown. Let's go like this. Set her on strong, use the ability, and then I'm going to move her back to first. And then these swords on the ground should be enough to pop all the lead balloons. There we go. Alright, so let's get the bigger radius. And I think the first tower that we're going to be getting is probably the Enforcer, I was thinking. Yeah, we're just leaking so many balloons with Salt. Are we actually holding this round? I mean, we have... oh, we just got the money for the Enforcer. That's really good. Alright. And you know that the village placement is good because, as you guys can see, we have 3 stacks onto the shotgun. So basically, this is 30% extra attack speed. Not sure if this is going to change because I want to get an Alchemist up top as well. We're going to be getting some upgrades in the village, but I guess for now it's fine. So an extremely important thing about this run is that we need to be hitting some timings. The problem with the Desperados is that these guys do not have any lead popping power by themselves except the middle crosspad. So that means the Golden Justice, and let me just get the bullseye. By the way, we're gonna have around 36 in the background. Yeah, so besides the Golden Justice, no one else can pop Camel Balloons and Camel Leads, and that goes for DDTs. So we have a couple of timings to hit actually. That means that before round 90 we need to have the Desert Phantom plus the Golden Justice on screen. I mean, I guess we could deal with the ones on 90 actually, now that I think about this, with like the Bounty Hunter or whatever it's gonna be, maybe some solid abilities, but for the ones on 93 we must have the Golden Justice. So that puts us on a timer actually for this entire thing. And I think we're gonna be using the Take Aim ability in a second. I'm gonna try and save it for the Moab so we increase our chance of crit. But let's see how we're doing versus these Bloons. Are we defending them? Yeah, I think we are, but they're just kind of walking into a Spike Factory still, which is not good. Okay, so let's use the Take Aim. Let's give this guy a lot of extra range, and I'm gonna try and snipe the ceramics with Sawdust level 3s as soon as she... yes, there we go. That was very good. Yeah, I think we got a couple of crits actually to make that thing happen. So how do we secure our 40s in our mid game? I was thinking we get the Avenger, but before doing that I want to kind of stabilize for these 40s. So let's go for something like this, I think. Let's chill with the mentoring, even though it's not like a bad upgrade. Okay, so let me place the Alchemist like this, and this is going to be very interesting how it works with the guy at the bottom. Actually, I'm going to make the Alchemist a 4-2-0. He's in the range of the village as well, so getting some discount action there. But it's going to be interesting how it works with the Berserker Brew actually, because the Berserker Brew is going to give him a range, and then let's just watch the shotgun debuff. I'm waiting for a... yes, this is... oh my god, that's so good. He's still keeping the extra stack. That's really, really good. Alright, so let's see how we do versus these ceramics. 46, 45 ones. ones, and then 47 is going to have a bunch of normal ones. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to give this guy the take aim ability for 47. Let's make sure we crit versus these guys, but now with the Alchemist, I am not exactly afraid of these ceramics. 49 is going to be interesting to watch, but once we get the Avenger up and running, I think even the 50s are going to be safe. Alright, so once we're done with this round, we're going to have the money for the Avenger. This is going to be absolutely perfect, because in the 50s, we start getting some mob class balloons. We need to be pushing them back, so here comes the money for the Avenger. I'm actually going to buy it like mid-round, and it just makes this thing so much stronger, actually, and the shrapnel and everything. So I guess this run is actually not even going that bad so far. Yeah, this guy with the crits, by the way, that they came, you know what? I'm actually let's wait. Let's give him the extra range of 54 for the ceramics and the Moabs. Yeah, let's do it on this round. So as soon as I see the first Moab, I'm gonna give him the extra range. Just like this. Look at this range, by the way. This range is huge. Yes, he's just owning them. By the way, the more range he gets, the bigger chance of a crit he gets. I think I mentioned this in one of the videos, but basically, I think the number goes like this: 0.4% extra chance to crit for each unit of distance. And the unit of distance is obviously an arbitrary measure, but it goes something like this. The radius, if I understand it correctly, the radius of the Buccaneer is 60. So basically, if you guys are seeing like the left side of the radius of the Buccaneer, which should be around this area where my mouse is, and actually that should be about, yeah, it's about the range of this guy. That is going to be 120 units, and if you multiply that by 0.4, it's about 48. Well, it's about 50% chance to crit, basically. And actually, one of the things that happens once you buy the Golden Justice is that the take aim ability gets improved, and he gives himself even that much more range, which means that much more crit. So that's gonna be key, I feel like, into these 90s, because we have no other damage source. I was hoping we maybe get the Desert Phantom for around 63, but it's not looking like it. We're missing actually a decent amount of money, about 8k, so we are gonna have to survive 63 with all the towers that we have, and I'm actually questioning if this is gonna be enough, guys. So here comes the first wave. I mean, we do have the shotgun, but I'm not, oh my god, never mind. Yep, this guy is just, when he crits, if we get the crit on the shrapnel and everything, I think this is like not even close. Oh my god, he's so good. Yeah, I was concerned for no reason. I thought that we might like leak some balloons, but when this guy crits, it's actually insane. Okay, never mind. I mean, and just like that, it's round 66, we're gonna have like 345 Moabs behind each other, but after this, we should have the money for the Desert Phantom. Yeah, there we go. We're just gonna buy it right now. So this is gonna be our first tier 5 on round 67. Bam. I'm just gonna buy it. I want to secure this mid game. The Desert Phantom is an insane tower, and I think the order in which we want to do these things is basically we want to get the Desert Phantom first, the Golden Justice next, because that's a must, as I mentioned, for the deities, and then lastly, like, I guess the Blazing Sun. Listen, I'm only buying that guy because we have to, not because I want to. Let's watch the Desert Phantom on rounds like 75 and 76. I think 76 is actually not even going to be close. He might attack once and destroy everything, but I wanted to watch 75 because a lot of mob class balloons on this one, so let's see how he does. Oh my god. Alright, just one attack and everything just gets decimated in a second. 3 PFBs, by the way, stacked on top of each other here and then at the back as well. How many attacks is he gonna need? 3 attacks in total. Alright. Yep, I'm telling you, this guy is just so good. That was just like one attack, by the way, for all the insights. So let's see how he's gonna do on 76. I think it's gonna be one attack as well. Yep. Alright, some 45 balloons on this one. How are we doing with them? Absolutely no issues so far for the Desert Phantom. So you guys know what? I think I'm just gonna dump her relentless glue here up top. We're gonna have a huge wave of Moabs on 83 incoming. And I just want to secure, you know, these 80s and not have any issues. And then I think the next thing we're going for is just straight up gonna be the Golden Justice. I mean, we are missing like $20,000. So just watch the Desert Phantom, by the way. So he attacks once and do the explosions, do the same thing that we saw in pre-free play. And actually they don't, because these balloons are a little bit beefier. So yeah, we're popping them for sure, but we're not doing, you know, the eradication of like an entire line of balloons. So this guy's role is gonna start transitioning into just being more of a support slash damage type of a tower. So he's gonna be knocking them back and then just setting everyone up for the Golden Justice, I feel like. Alright, so 87, and we are missing about $6,000 for the Golden Justice. So remember the deadline. We have the deadline around 90 to get the Golden Justice, or I guess we're gonna have a lot of trouble versus DDTs because he's the only one that can pop them. It's gonna get us to 41,000, actually 41.8. Alright, we're missing like $40,000, so we need to get the 4K before round 90. This is as close as it gets, guys. 44, but I think after these guys, yes, we're gonna have them. We still don't have it. We need to pop a couple of balloons on 89, but we are gonna get it. This is as close as it gets with the money. We shouldn't have bought this thing. This was a mistake. I mean, maybe not a mistake in like the overall setup, but just like not now. Maybe like after the Golden Justice, but we do actually get it done right on time. So let me buy the Golden Justice, and that is 2 out of 3 tier 5s. Now the last one is gonna be the Blazing Sun. That thing costs 27,000, but the thing is, I don't want to buy it immediately because I'm not sure if we need the damage from the Golden Justice right now. Some of you guys might be watching this and you're like, like what damage? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I don't want to buy it. I want to just save a little bit of cash. So every single dollar that we have after 27,000 is essentially going to be money that we can use for something else. But I do want to chill for the next few rounds. So let's just see how we're doing with the two of these towers. So the Desert Phantom and the Golden Justice. We also want to be using the ability because obviously we want to extend the range, which is going to increase our chances of critting. But I do want to save it because this take aim ability, even though it's on a super short cooldown, I think it's a very, very important ability for the Golden Justice in general. Alright, so I think I'm actually going to use the ability on this one, the take aim, so we eliminate the DDTs. And I guess just one thing that we have to make sure is that we save it for 95. So do we want to use the take aim on this one? I think I will. Yeah, let's just use it. Let's just extend this guy's range. By the way, look at how big the range is. This is like, what, like 70% chance to crit or something like that. So almost every shot is going to be, not every shot, but like almost every shot should be a crit if he's attacking the Bloons on like the edge of the attack range. Yeah, when he crits, it's like 1,680 damage if I remember correctly, and that damage goes through basically everything. It just literally one-shots everything, so that's a lot of damage. Alright, so for 95, I'm specifically trying to save the take aim ability. We're going to use it right now. We're going to need some crits, and we're also going to need the AMD buff onto the Desert Phantom so he can actually push back the DDTs. So how are we doing so far? We're getting some knockback. I mean, this guy, when he attacks, it's so good, but we can run into some issues if this guy just pulls out the gun. If the Golden Justice pulls out the gun, I think the round is just over. And he did, oh my god, actually the last one, did you guys see that regrowth ceramic made it all the way over here? So now we get it done. That's fine. I get this is the exact reason why I wanted to get the Golden Justice, because there's no other way to deal with these guys. Now look at him go, by the way. Such a great tower. He's not even like getting buff damage. I mean, it's only like an alchemist in a village, and when he attacks, it's just like bam, it goes through everything. Let me use the take aim ability. A lot of ZMGs. I think we want to see some crits right about now, so we eliminate all of them, because the Desert Phantom is only going to be pushing them right. So oh, wait a minute. Yeah, things are getting a little bit dicey on like these late 90s. The Desert Phantom is falling behind a little bit. Alright, so we do have the money for the Blazing Sun. We have $35,000. Not sure if we want to buy it as of yet, so let's just try and defeat this one with the towers that we have. If we get some good crits onto the Golden Justice, the round is over, but that's a big if. And these ZMVs are progressing really, really fast. We are destroying the small Bloons, obviously, but no, the Bloons are getting closer. Please don't pull out the gun. No, he's pulling out the gun. This is not looking good. We might want to do something on this round, or are we going to get some knockbacks actually from Desert Phantom? The Desert Phantom is currently holding this entire round and this entire game by itself. Oh my god, that was so close. I think we got a shrapnel explosion. That is insane. That should not have happened. Alright, let's go like this. I guess we buy the Spike Storm for round 100. How are we doing versus these 45 DDTs? I'm going to use the take aim ability. We're one-shotting them. Oh my god, that is insane. Alright, so let's buy the Blazing Sun. Let's have him like, I guess like this here on the side. Doesn't exactly matter. So there we go. We get the axes, and now it's just getting rid of this bad balloon around 100. So we do have the Spike Storm ability. I'm just going to dump it, and we bought everything. It's just dealing with this guy. So I bought the Spike Storm because these guys kind of suck versus the bad around 100. The Spike did 6,500 damage, and let's just use the take aim ability. I'm going to drop some of Sawdust's abilities, and boom, there we go. We get it done. So we actually do the axis of Desperado on Sunset Gulch, and let's just check the MVP. 5,900 pops. I mean, this guy, whether we had it on screen or not, it actually made absolutely no difference because these two basically won the game by themselves. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.